Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Wise Decision Maker Show, where we help you make the wisest and the most profitable decisions. My name is Dr. Gleb Tsipursky. I'm the CEO of Disaster Avoidance Experts, the future of work consultancy that sponsors the Wise Decision Maker Show. And today we'll talk about managing a reshuffled hybrid team after layoffs and the 5 keys to doing so. Now, layoffs suck. We can all acknowledge that. No one likes layoffs, but they happen in hybrid teams, in fully remote teams, and fully in-person teams. I want to talk today about hybrid teams, so teams that spend some time in the office and some time working remotely. Leading this reshuffled hybrid team after layoffs is challenging. So you have a hybrid team and it's reshuffled naturally. There are some layoffs, some people are coming in, obviously some people left. This is a challenging situation. I want to focus on the team members that remain. It's reshuffled. Let's say you had 6 people on your team, now you have 4 people on your team. The dynamic has definitely changed. Staff may feel resentful, uncertain. They will naturally have lower motivation and productivity after this sort of disruption. And so there's low morale, low job satisfaction, and some people may leave. There's going to be higher turnover with layoffs. The layoffs are going to be forced, but some people may choose to leave after they've seen a layoff. So there's a higher impact if layoffs lacked empathy, like layoffs by email, which have been made notorious by large tech companies like Google, Amazon, Meta, X. So the impact of layoffs in hybrid teams is fear, uncertainty, and stress. And especially given that hybrid teams lack the kind of in-person support that fully in-person teams have. So long-term staff may feel vulnerable, especially if they invested a large portion of their careers into the company. Moreover, the employees who were laid off may still be in contact with team members, which of course can be harmful for team morale. So managers, you as a manager, need to learn how to navigate the situation to keep your teams motivated and productive during this difficult time. So, what you as a manager need to do is provide empathy and support. That's one of the keys. You should offer empathy and emotional support, have regular check-ins on staff, and truly understand their concerns. Provide them with essential mental and emotional resources yourself and also whatever the organization provides. So make sure, as soon as you hear about layoffs, to check in and remind yourself what kind of well-being resources your organization provides. It likely does so, and make sure to emphasize those to staff. And offer them flexible work arrangements. Time off is needed to deal with the stress of layoffs. Next key is understanding the needs, the individual member needs of your reshuffled team. Understand those unique needs. Know how to support them. Do so by having weekly check-in on calls and providing them with additional training or resources as needed to support their needs. This will help the team feel valued and motivated to collaborate further. Next key is embracing flexibility in hybrid teams. This time of layoffs should be a particularly special time when you support more flexible work arrangements than would ordinarily be the case. Let's say your company has a 3-day in the office policy. This is the time for you to do a little bit of looking the other way while your team is dealing with layoffs and maybe laying off, being strict about coming to the office regularly on the next couple of months after layoffs. So again, working from home might be an option. Allow your people to work from home more time. Give them more flexible hours. If your typical hours are 9 to 5, allow them to come in at 11 and leave at 3 or something like that, or a combination of both. This creates a work environment which puts less stress on people, and that helps their productivity, morale, and engagement. This is especially important during the challenging times of reshuffling for hybrid teams that just experienced layoffs. A Gallup survey found that 46% of team members reported high engagement when teams made decisions on flexible work together. So this is a time after layoffs to really get together and reassess your team's approach to hybrid work, because people will feel definitely better if they do so. They create mutual commitments. 41% were highly engaged with individual decision-making when individual team members made their own decisions. Only 35% felt highly engaged with leadership-led decisions, like the CEO saying 3 days in office, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Only 32% felt highly engaged when their supervisor alone, when their manager just dictated days in the office, again, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, without listening to their team members. So that's a problem. So in the office, teams can assess their needs for collaboration, socializing, and mentoring. That's why they should make the decision together, not simply the supervisor, not the leadership, not individual team members, but together the team should make the decision, especially after layoffs caused them a lot of stress, the team a lot of stress. So this is now a time to address that stress by accommodating being more accommodating in other areas of how you work with the team. The primary purpose, of course, is for the offices to develop the areas of collaboration, socializing, and mentoring, because people, on the average, are much more productive with individual tasks than when they're working from home. The Gallup survey highlights a missed opportunity to boost engagement among hybrid workers, and you really want to consider how much cost is going to be required to make up for the lost engagement if you are the senior leader of a company, and if you are a middle manager, lower level manager, that's also going to be a problem for you, not at the senior level, not the whole company level, but at your team level, that they will be less engaged. So empower teams. It's important to empower teams for effective hybrid work. You can boost satisfaction and productivity by letting teams shape their hybrid work approach. Ideally, you do this all the time, not simply after layoffs, but especially importantly after layoffs. So let your own reshuffled team determine their own schedule, not individually, but come together to make a consensus decision. That will foster bonding, create buy-in and engagement on these work arrangements, and promote learning about team members from each other. That provides a really healthy start for team synergy, which might not have been there before. Next, create a reshuffled team communication plan, which outlines methods, frequencies, and responsibilities of communication. That plan should be flexible and structured, combination of flexibility and structure. And again, this should be based on input from team members on communication preferences for both remote work and in-office work. Now, the opportunities and challenges of a hybrid model. The opportunities is that it increases flexibility with remote work. The challenges is this feeling of isolation and lack of connection after layoffs. So use technology to facilitate regular check-ins. Make sure to have video conferencing and virtual team building activities, video conferencing for meetings, virtual team building activities that will help just purely team bonding. And that will help people stay connected, engaged, and motivated. Now, again, another key is trust. So thinking about trust is really important. Open communication is very critical for effectiveness in hybrid teams, especially after layoffs. It can be done through regular team meetings and feedback sessions. That includes if you don't know what's going to happen with other layoffs, you need to be transparent about that. You might not be the senior leader of a company, you might not know what happens, but if you are transparent about what you know and what you don't know, people will trust you more. And have a communication culture. Default to communicating more rather than less. That helps identify and resolve issues in teams early onward. And that helps cultivate trust, which fosters engagement, productivity, and retention. So how do you nurture trust? You want to understand that trust building is difficult with less in-person interactions, and that's why it can be more challenging to build trust in hybrid teams. And of course, our layoffs destroy trust in hybrid, in-person, and fully remote teams. So cultivate trust for encouraging team building activities like in-person lunch breaks, and foster psychological safety by assuring workers they won't be punished for mistakes, which is especially important after layoffs. And they're safe to share their thoughts, feel valued, and they will feel valued and heard, and you will hear them and value them. Now, the fifth key is celebrating success in reshuffled hybrid teams. That helps build a positive work culture, which is especially important after layoffs. That boosts staff morale, motivation, retention, and productivity. To celebrate success, you can recognize individual contributions with tokens of achievement. You should have some, hopefully, budget for that. Or if you don't have budget, split a little bit of your own money on tokens of achievement, not that much, and it will really help your team. Appreciate team success through social events and leadership recognition. Leadership recognition meaning you as a manager recognize them and reward them with opportunities for professional development. People really appreciate having those opportunities. So, to review, the 5 key steps for managing reshuffled teams in a hybrid setting. Offer empathy and emotional support. Understand their individual needs and preferences. Establish a clear communication plan. Cultivate trust and psychological safety, and make sure to be flexible in doing so. And finally, celebrate success. These strategies are going to help you boost productivity, retention, and engagement in reshuffled teams after layoffs. All right. These are the 5 key steps to managing reshuffled hybrid teams after layoffs. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Wise Decision Maker Show. Please make sure to subscribe wherever you checked out the show and leave a review. It helps other people discover the show, and it helps us improve the show.